It's the end of the summer, which means it's time for me to update you on the tracking of my summer capsule wardrobe. I tracked it for the 90 days, as you well know, and I have my Excel spreadsheet right here to share all of my lessons. I have 12 in total that I learned, and I must say these lessons are so eye-opening, and I'm definitely gonna have to declutter and reorganize my wardrobe very soon. I think the next video is gonna be me decluttering my closet because this is so powerful. As always, let's start with tops, which I have 20. I didn't wear all of them. So if I go through my least worn items first, I have my black silk button-up from Intimissimi that I wore 0 times. I have my coral button-up that I wore 0 times. I have my pink silk cami, again I wore 0 times, and then I have my white button-up that I wore again 0 times. And then for my most worn tops, I have my black crop halter top that I wore 8 times. I have my beige crop tee that I wore 4 times, black tee that I wore 3 times. I have another black halter top that I wore 3 times, and then I have a black fitted cami that I also wore 3 times. Everything else in the middle I wore maybe once or twice, and that's it. So what are the lessons here? The first one is that obviously I have too many tops. This is something that I already knew when I was doing my spring capsule wardrobe, that I just feel a little bit overwhelmed with my top selection. And even though in the summer I have a lot less variety, for me, I still feel I have too many. That's why I'm gonna be decluttering something soon. You will see. Now, if I go into more details, the second thing that I learned is that I'm not a t-shirt girl, if that's a thing. It's not just with this tracking that I'm doing, it's not just putting the numbers into my Excel spreadsheet, but it's also observing how I feel when I'm wearing items. And I'm noticing that just normal tees, like a white tee, I don't really feel my best in it. I really feel plain when I'm wearing just normal white t-shirts. They don't really work for me. I love special thingies, as you can see, so that's an important lesson. And then the third thing that I learned is that I have too many tops that need to be worn with a strapless bra, which it's fine if they're really special and unique, but just for every day to wear a strapless bra all of the time, for me, they're not the most comfortable, and also I have to keep pulling the bra up. And the worst part is that if you have something high-waisted and then you have something strapless and then it falls down, your waist, your torso just looks so weird and so unproportional. This is really important to know. I have some of my favorite pieces. They're really unique in some of my dresses where I love to wear a strapless bra, but I also realize those pieces, they have to be a little bit tight so they hold the bra in place. And then the fourth very obvious thing is that I didn't wear my button-ups, which was so surprising to me. I always kept them in my summer capsule because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wear them, they're lovely for the night, I don't know, when it's colder, but I just don't reach for them. Even today, for example, it's a little bit colder, so I'm wearing my summer dress, and then I also have a cardigan on top of that, and I have my sneakers. So even on the colder days, I don't really reach for my button-ups, and I do love them in the spring and in the fall, even in the winter, but just for summer, I feel in the future I'm just gonna have maybe 1 instead of, you know, 3 like I did this time. But to declutter anything, I really don't have, you know, the need for that right now. And then if you go through the bottoms, again, I have my list right here. So my least worn items were my black high-waisted trousers that I wore 0 times. I have my black high-waisted jeans I also wore 0 times. And then I have a black miniskirt that I only wore once. And then for my most worn items, I have my denim shorts that I wore 12 times. Then I have my black joggers that I wore 9 times. I have my black shorts that I wore 6 times, and medium wash high-waisted jeans that I wore 3 times. And again, everything in the middle I wore 1 to 2 times. I forgot to mention, I have 10 pieces of bottoms in total. Even though I didn't wear all of my bottoms, I still feel my selection was pretty good. And you never know, in the next summer, maybe I'm gonna wear my black jeans because maybe I'm gonna go and do something fun in the evening, I don't know. So I'm not decluttering anything specific here. Also, my high-waisted trousers, for me, this is kind of a special occasion piece, and this summer I just didn't have anywhere to go to take them with me. So I'm not decluttering anything here, but a lesson that I have, that it's a 5th lesson, is that I'm not in love with the denim skirt. I just wore it 2 times and that's really not a lot, especially because I only keep a denim skirt in my wardrobe just for the summer. So to have an entire piece for the entire year in the storage, to just then wear it twice, it's not really worth it. So with this piece, I'm still deciding what to do. Maybe I can start wearing it in the spring or in the fall. Maybe I can start playing with other ideas, or maybe I'm just not a denim skirt kind of girl. If it would be a white or black color, black denim skirt, white denim skirt, it would look a lot more elegant and I would wear it more. I'm not sure what's the deal. I also know that the comfort, it's just not the best because the denim skirt that I have, it's really thick. So it gives me a lot of warmth and I just don't want to wear it when it's really hot outside. I don't feel it's light and breezy. So maybe it's also my particular denim skirt that's the problem. But this is the lesson for the bottoms. And now to my dresses. I have 13 in total. And again, I didn't wear everything. If I go through my least worn items, I have my cream bodycon dress that I wore 0 times. I have my white strapless maxi dress that I wore 0 times. And then I have my navy flare dress that I wore 1 time. And then for my most worn items, I have my black sleeveless dress that I wore 6 times. I have my coral cold shoulder dress that I wore 5 times. I have my floral cold shoulder dress that I wore 5 times. And I have a floral bodycon dress that I wore 4 times. And then everything in the middle, I wore 2 to 3 times. So the lesson that I have in the dresses is that the dresses with the zipper are a lot more uncomfortable, especially right now. I just have a little bit more weight. I can still close it, I can still technically wear it, like my navy dress, I can wear it, but it's just not the most comfortable. That's why I didn't wear it a lot, but I still love it and I'm still gonna keep it. But I'm realizing for the future, I don't want to buy dresses that have a zipper because you're gonna be really limited and uncomfortable, and I just really want to be comfortable. Like this dress, it's really stretchy. I mean, this one has a zipper actually, but it's so stretchy, it doesn't really matter. So for me, this is an important lesson. I don't really want to have them in my wardrobe or continue buying them in the future. And now to jackets. I had 11 pieces in total. And my least worn items are my coral blazer that I wore 0 times. I have my black blazer with gold button that I wore once. I have my faux leather jacket that I wore once. And then I have a black blazer with silver buttons that I wore 2 times. And then my most worn items were my slightly bigger denim jacket that I wore 18 times. Then I have a more fitted denim jacket that I wore 12 times. I have my white denim jacket that I wore 9 times. And I have a black short cardigan that I wore 7 times. And everything in the middle, I wore 2 to 5 times. So what are my lessons here? For the coral blazer, I've been noticing, not just for the summer, but even before, I've been noticing that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of colorful outerwear. All of my jackets and coats for winter, for fall, they're all neutral colors. And the only exception that I have is my coral blazer, but I just don't really reach for it. I prefer black and white and just neutral colors. So this is something that I'm kind of realizing. My coral blazer, I'm not really wearing it a lot. Then I also realized is the leather jacket. I mean, this is so bad because I just bought it and I really thought that I'm gonna wear it and love it. I didn't wear it a lot in the spring, I didn't wear it a lot in the summer, and I really wanted to. And confession, I put an outfit together and then I threw the leather jacket on, and then I looked in the mirror and I was like, ooh, nope, this is not me. So I took it off and then I put something else on. So it happened too many times in the summer that I put my leather jacket on, I wasn't feeling myself, and then I put it back down. So I'm realizing that even though the leather jacket that I bought doesn't have any zippers and it's not really your classic moto jacket, it's still maybe not me. I mean, I'm not sure, I'm still gonna think about it, but this is the data and what was going on in the summer. And then also what I realized is that I absolutely love cardigans. This is a realization that I also had in spring. And I actually took out my long black cardigan because it was really cold in the middle of summer for some reason. It was unusually cold, so I took it out and I wore it and I absolutely love it. Even today with this dress, I have my black long cardigan. In the morning was really cold, so for me, I absolutely love cardigans, so I think it's safe for me to maybe add 1 or 2 to my collection, maybe in a lighter color. I already have some on my wish list, but this is just so nice to know that I love them. And as we're just in the middle, I can also show you the little puppy, how he's growing up, and I can use the power of his puppy eyes. So I can convince you that you like this video if you're enjoying it so far. He would like it, I know that. Okay, now let's continue. For the shoes, I had 7 pairs in total. My least worn items were nude wedges that I wore 0 times. I have my black wedges that I also wore 0 times, and I had my nude open wedges that I wore 2 times. And then my most worn shoes were my nude flat sandals from Valentino that I wore 23 times. Then I have silver sandals from Ipanema that I wore 20 times, and white sneakers that I wore 18 times. And then all that is left are my nude heeled sandals that I wore 8 times. What does this tell me is that I don't love wearing wedges. Even though I love them in theory, I'm kind of starting thinking that maybe this is just a fantasy buy when I see it on others, and I love how it looks on others, but then in my wardrobe, I just don't reach for them. Again, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this. When I get all of this data, when I'm tracking, I mean, I'm not just gonna go and declutter everything at once, but it just gives me a lot of food for thought to what should I do in the future, or what to buy in the future, or maybe I can even experiment and wear some things a little bit differently. But yeah, wedges are just not it for me, to be honest. And also a sad wardrobe update, my most worn shoes in the summer, the Valentino flat sandals, they broke. 4 or 5 days ago, we were shopping in IKEA and I was walking and snap. Something happened. I checked and the rubber snapped off, but I immediately went through my emails to see when I bought them because they weren't the cheapest, and I actually bought them in 2019, so I had them for 5 summers. I really wore them a lot. I will do my best to fix them, but it makes me a little bit worried when you paid so much money and this happens. So yeah, just a little sad wardrobe update, but I really do love them. And now to my bags. I had all of my bags out, and I knew already that I'm not gonna wear all of them because of the colors. But yeah, if you're curious, my least worn items were my tote bag that I wore 0 times, my red Pauline bag I wore 0 times, my pink Valentino bag I wore 0 times, and then the black leather bag I also wore 0 times. Then I have my most worn bag that was coral bag that I wore 20 times. Then the chalk bag that I just bought, I wore it 20 times and I didn't even buy it for summer, so that's really surprising. And then I have my black Pauline bag that I wore 18 times, nude bag that I wore 5 times, and a backpack that I wore 5 times. So my lessons here, I knew that like a red bag and leather bag, I'm not gonna wear them in the summer because they're not really a summer bag for me. But again, I have a confirmation that the tote bag is completely unworn, and I really think it's time for me to let it go, because how much data do I need that I don't wear it, that I don't need it? I mean, it's insane. I also gave my laptop to my husband. I have a little tablet now. So for me, I don't really need to have such a big bag, and to keep it for the future, just in case, I don't know, I need something. For me, that's not really a good reason. So I think this summer, this data confirms that I can let it go. And now for my accessories, I'm gonna go through everything. My most worn item is my straw hat from ASOS, and I wore it a billion times. I put in 25, but it's probably more because I just wear it to the beach every single day. My husband actually lost it on the first day on our vacation, but then it was in the lost and found, and I was so sad for a moment. I was like, no, this is a perfect hat. It has an elastic. I was just a little bit upset. I know it's just clothing, but still, it's just a confirmation of how much I love it. But then the next accessory is my black silver belt that I wore 7 times. Black gold belt I wore 4 times. I have my white gold belt that I wore 2 times. I have my tan belt that I wore 1 time. White silver belt I wore once, and then I have a black straw hat that I wore 0 times. So what is the lesson here is that the black straw hat, I don't really wear it because it doesn't have an elastic like my other straw hat has. So I will give myself an ultimatum here. I will either put an elastic into the black straw hat, that it sits securely on my head and that I can be comfortable to wear it anytime I want to, or I will let it go. I will do either of those 2 options, because keeping it and then not wearing it, It's just, it doesn't make sense because I do love the design. I do love the color. It's a little bit more elegant than just your normal straw hat. So I still want to keep it. But like I said, I will put the elastic in. Otherwise it's going. Now, if you're curious and you want to see my entire summer capsule wardrobe in more detail, then I will link another video here that you can watch next. Thank you for stopping by today, and I will see you next time.